He didn't know I was in the doorway when he said it. She'll cry first, then beg. He grinned like a boy rehearsing for a school play. I can't live with you, she'll say, probably promised to change. His friend, the one I thought was mine too, laughed while holding up her phone, recording. I stood silent, still. I wanted him to notice me, to catch me watching. He didn't. He was too busy perfecting his smirk, too busy playing God with the pieces of my heart. That's when the switch flipped. Not in rage, not in grief. Something colder, a stillness sharp as glass. I didn't cry, I didn't speak. I slid the envelope across the table instead. Before the rot. We met in the way clichés warn you about, by accident, with timing that felt divine. He dropped his keys, I picked them up, and our fingers brushed. That stupid, innocent brush that can bind you to years of wreckage. He was sunlight then, a man who said my laugh sounded like home, who brought me coffee in bed, who swore he wasn't like the rest. I believed him. God, I believed him. I let him into every corner of my life. My bank account, my passwords, my future. He became the architect of the home I thought we were building together. And in that trust, I planted my ruin. The cracks. It started small, a silence where there used to be warmth, a locked phone, a faint perfume that wasn't mine clinging to his shirt when he swore he was at the gym. I tried to dismiss it, because that's what love does. It makes excuses. It fills in the shadows with imagined light. But lies leave residue, and once you smell rot, you can't unknow it. The night I found the hotel receipt, I didn't scream. I memorized the date, the time, the room number. I folded the paper back into his wallet exactly as I'd found it. That's when grief became strategy. My quiet work. I copied every file from his laptop, every email, every text thread he thought he'd deleted. Screenshots, bank statements, hotel charges. Enough evidence to strip him of every lie he'd wrapped himself in. I called a lawyer before I ever confronted him. I learned what leverage looked like in the language of divorce. I gathered witnesses, people who saw what he did when I wasn't there. His late nights weren't hard to verify. He was careless in his arrogance. I opened an account in my name only, moved funds quietly over weeks. Never enough to raise suspicion, but steady, relentless. I waited. I watched. I let him rehearse his cruelty, thinking he was untouchable. The stage. When the moment came, it wasn't in our living room or some dramatic public scene. No, I chose quiet, a kitchen table, a glass of water, the kind of setting where truth becomes suffocating. He was mid-sentence, mocking the way I'd supposedly beg, when I pushed the envelope forward. White, unassuming, deadly. "What's this?" he asked, still half smiling. "Open it," I said. Inside, copies of everything. Photos, receipts, messages with names he'd never want me to know I knew. A bank statement with missing funds highlighted in red. The contact card of the attorney waiting for my call. I watched the smirk dissolve. First confusion, then realization, then the faintest flicker of fear. He looked at me like he'd never seen me before. "Where did you—" "You were sloppy," I interrupted. Calm, precise. I only had to look. He reached for charm, like he always did. That soft voice, the one that once felt like safety. "We can work this out." I leaned forward. "No, you rehearsed a scene where I beg. That's not the ending I wrote." The fall. He tried denial. Useless. I had the proof. He tried anger. Pathetic. I didn't flinch. Finally, he tried silence. But silence doesn't erase signatures on hotel receipts. I explained the terms, like I was reading a grocery list. The house, mine. The accounts, frozen. His reputation tethered to the evidence I now controlled. He had two options: comply quietly or face public ruin. Every word was deliberate, every move premeditated. I didn't raise my voice once. That's the part that broke him. The calm. He had rehearsed my desperation. Instead, he found my execution. Aftermath. When he left, he didn't slam the door. He closed it gently, as if noise would make things worse. I sat there alone, listening to the silence he once filled with lies. My hands didn't shake, my chest didn't ache. I felt clean. Hollow maybe, but hollow like a cleared room, waiting for something new. People imagine revenge is loud, screaming, broken dishes, violence. No, real revenge is paperwork and patience. It's letting the betrayer script your downfall, then handing them their own lines rewritten as confession. He wanted an audience for my humiliation. Instead, I gave him a stage for his collapse. I caught him rehearsing how I'd break. But I don't break. I edit. I direct. And when the curtain fell, it wasn't me who stood exposed under the lights. It was him.